Come on in, man. Have a seat. Come on in. Yes, yes. What's going on, Julian? Come on in.
She thought she knew the game. Now she playing it away. Took her own route, now she moving day to day. No rules, no guide. She do it how she choosing. But when it get quiet and she all alone, that's a renegade illusion.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Come on in. Come on in. And let's talk about it, huh? Let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And yes, we're going to use, the pimp Sharp as an example. But it's not necessarily about Sharp at all. It's about any individual that lives a subculture lifestyle trying to jump into the belly of the beast and trying to educate, right? And within trying to educate, I sound like Michael Jackson? And within trying to educate, right, they can get lost within the way. They can get distracted in the way. The audience, the square audience might not reciprocate the message in the same manner. To where one might think, is it about education or did it turn into entertainment, right? Was it about education or did it turn into was it about entertainment or did it turn into education, right? Sharp, he entered in a new environment, right? A new platform, where it was built around attention. You know what I'm saying? It was built around entertainment, a platform with a mass audience to where one that's a true gentleman of the lifestyle has good intentions, understanding this is the opportunity to educate, right? Have a strong personality, and we're going to play some videos to show one that has a strong personality, right? Has good intentions in the beginning, right? A clean mission, a clear mission, right? And you got to ask yourself, can a man enter the system, right, without the system entering him? How do you educate the ones that might not understand the lifestyle? So like I said, y'all that's coming in, hit the thumb. Everybody hit the thumb so we can get this out here so the ears can hear this, because this is an educational moment of how one entered the belly of the beast, right? He tried to enter the square world. Within trying to enter that square world, it got challenging because the square world wasn't trying to get that from him, or he got distracted in the way, right? He got distracted in the way. You know what I mean? Can the mission survive the spotlight? Meaning the mission is to educate the ones of the lifestyle that's in the square world that might got it confused, might be doing it wrong, might be trying to infiltrate in one way or the other, right? Are they able to educate through all the distractions? You get what I'm saying? So today we're not studying Sharp. We're not trying to study the man. No. We're studying what happens when conviction meets the belly of the beast, right? Meaning, when somebody's like, okay, I know I'm going into their world, but I'm going to try to educate. Down the way, I'm trying to educate, and sometimes you get distracted to where you got to get back on the right page, the right mission, right? So let's get into it, man. I appreciate y'all that's around. Let me see what's going on in here. So do me a favor. Share the live, right? Hit the likes, hit the 100 button, do all that good things while we deep dive into this video. Now keep in mind, this is the beginning, right? This is the mission right here. So notice his persona, notice the confidence, notice how he carries himself and how he's always illustrating the message at hand, right? So here we go.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan. I moved to the West Coast, Las Vegas, when I was 2. Never saw the Midwest ever again after that. Grew up in Las Vegas a bit, went to school, typical American fucked up dream. Same shit, different day, average shit. Then I started going to San Diego, man, real heavy when I was about 12, 13 with a lot of my friends, man. We used to always go, family.
So I wanted to start it in the beginning, right? We seen all these clips, right? We seen all these clips, but it's important when you analyze it, and we start in the beginning. So he's coming through poverty, right? He's on this show, and he's gonna relay this message. He's on this show where he's seen a lot of people that's looking like messed up people, to where he thought to come on here, showcase his poverty, but also showcase how he came out of it and how he's intellect, how he's able to carry an intellect conversation. This is his mission. This is his mission in the beginning, to showcase, hey man, just because I'm this type of person, just because I came from this type of background, I'm still able to, carry a conversation in an intellectual way. You know what I mean?
Members or whatnot, a lot of friends and shit like that. It's always been my thing.
How was your family?
Huh?
How was your family?
How was my family?
You had both your parents?
Nah, man. I think that's what that's what really go on.
When did you start working as a pimp?
I got into the ism, man, when I was 14, 15 years old. Young,
Now, I'm going to keep pausing it because we got a long video. We got a good 30-minute video, but I'm going to keep pausing into where I would recommend these are a lot of the whys. Now, why? Why did you enter the game at a young age, right? Because that's the concept of educating now, right? When you leave it at the surface level, you give people the opportunity to put a perception on you, right? To put their own narrative on what they think you are, why you did this. But if you give them the why you got introduced to the lifestyle at such a young age, and he does briefly, to his credit, because of the platform he's at, and this is his first interview. But as we keep seeing him progress into the podcasting world, you will see it totally change.
Grew up around your standard pimps and drug dealers and prostitutes and crackheads and, your everyday model of fucked up society. That's what a lot of broads when I was coming up. I always had a bunch of females, as friends as a kid, young, from first grade on up. I've been having girlfriends. I was never scared of girls. I was never a boy like that to where I, ew, get away from me. No, man, none of that. I've always loved them and shit. They love me.
Did you have sisters?
Did
you have sisters?
Not a couple, but I don't know them.
Okay. Did you feel you were destined for something greater than everyone else around you?
Yeah. And that's why I think, I picked up what I picked up, shit, man, the game.
Notice, he's not trying to open up too much, but when you're on these type of platforms, people are going to criticize you. So if you don't give the why to a lot of things, right, they're going to jump in the comments and criticize and judge and throw all the stereotypes on you. Now, lack of knowledge, you wouldn't understand that. You thinking that you're actually saying something with substance and you're showcasing something, but you're not giving the why behind it.
Me, I didn't find the game. The game found me, man. It's not for everybody, and there's definitely no gray areas. Like this Skid Row is a bunch of them, it's It's not none of that, man.
How did it begin for you? How did it start? Your first girl?
I was a kid, man. I was young. Shit, my first girl, man, shit, she 26 years old. 14, 15 years old, man. For real. Turned me on.
And this is the thing. Now, one would be like, listen, that I don't consider myself in the lifestyle because I was young and I wasn't being able to be the man. But since the woman is being so older, you have to give the why of that, right? He's giving you the why. This is what he's saying. Because of how he grew up, he had to grow up fast, so he was around older people. Now, is he putting extras on it? Who knows, right? But the thing is, the people that's listening to this, they're going to put their own extra. They're going to put their own narrative on it, right? Especially if you're not going to bring in the context of what you're trying to, what type of message you're trying to relay. You get what I'm saying? So that's very important when you're trying to educate, when you're going into the belly of the beast, meaning, 90% of these people don't live the lifestyle like you. So you have to understand, with me using my words, I want to relay the message so people can create their own narrative of what I'm saying.
Showed me the way. You ain't got to be broke no more. You ain't got to hurt no more. Already coming from hurtful environments. And as a man, when you had to put a capital P on it, man. You dig? You had to put a capital P on it. Now, man, let me tell you something, man. You got people out today that want to do it for a weekend, want to be in the streets or in a lifestyle, any type of lifestyle. Man, they want to do it for a weekend, but they want to go back on Monday acting like everything has changed. It's not like that, man.
Now, you see, he's educating. He's educating right here, but the square audience, they will hear the passion. They will hear the passion and they would mistake that for anger, right? To where he's mad, when really he's just so passionate about the lifestyle he might came from, that's how he showcases it. But one has to understand, when you're in the 90% arena of squares, they're not going to look at it as passion. They're going to look at it as anger and create a negative or a stereotype towards the individual. When reality is, the one other subculture, we get it. You passionate. So yes, it's a lot of the circus stuff going on. So when you say that passionately, if you're not able to give the why behind it passionately, people are going to get lost, especially the square audience that you're mainly talking to.
And for everybody.
Okay, now this is the second interview. This is the second interview, his second time. Notice he's a little bit more confident, right? Notice he got a little bit more swag. Oh, okay, hold on. Notice he got a little bit more swag, right? This is the second interview where he gets a little bit more comfortable. He sees the views from the first interview, and does it get to him? Is he like, okay, they're talking negatively, I have to come back with more substance to educate better? Or is he feeding into it? You have to ask yourself, and I don't think it's intentional. I think it's all intentional. I don't think he's intentionally feeding into it. I think when, a gentleman that lives a certain type of lifestyle for a long period of time, that the square audience doesn't understand, when you jump into their world, right, you could get caught up in the mix of the entertainment and less of the education. You know what I mean?
Or I have to convince you, people out in the world that want to watch it, I have to convince you nothing. I'm going to be who I am, regardless to the fact that you want to say this is bad, or it's a bad profession, or this is what, man, stall the bullshit and kill that shit.
You see his approach? He's passionate. He's saying he don't want to hear it because the first interview, they was talking probably negatively in the comments. So he comes back up and he speaks passion again. He don't want to hear it, but he's not giving us the why. He's not giving us the why. Listen, let's get the hearts. Hit the heart. I mean, hit the thumbs up button, man. Hit the thumbs up button. You feel me? If you feeling lucky, man, hit the thumbs up button. One time, for the one time, man, so we can push this out there. But notice, he's trying to educate, but it's passionate. There's no why behind it. The real education is the why, right? Everybody else is going to see the entertainment till you pull the entertainment back. Pull all the passion, right? Pull that back and reinsert education, scholarship, right? And this is years ago. This is years ago. And I'm pretty sure he was trying to bring in scholarship and bring in education and also be himself, which is very passionate. So sometimes you got to realize what arena you're in to where you can, let that scholarship stand out more than the passion. Because the passion, they see it in a stereotype way. You know what I mean?
Because I really don't give a fuck. I really don't. Not about anything that you want to tell me that I could have been doing or should have been doing. I don't care about none of that. Fuck that.
There were some comments on your first video saying that you were fake. But we should have mentioned that you were named Pimp of the Year a few years ago at the Players Ball.
I've won trophies as far back as 07.
So you're for real.
2007. Yeah. What year are we in now? What we headed to?
2021 soon.
Well, my first one, man, 2007.
The tennis shoe pimps on Figueroa, who are just basically drug dealers that have girlfriends that they're hustling.
I say this. Remember when I said that I got stuck in a time, and you ever got stuck in a time that you didn't want to leave? Well, I'm happy and blessed to say I got stuck in one of the...
Right. They're usually going to provoke the attitude. And knowing you're going into the belly of the beast, you got to understand that. That's where you bring back more scholarship. Because you already know they're going to try to provoke you. They're already going to throw the negative stereotypes out there. And they're expecting you to bring that passionate attitude, persona. The same goes in, in the culture when dealing with, law enforcement. Being a black man dealing with law enforcement, to where they're trying to provoke you to get you to act a certain way, and you have to play chess with it. You have to be 3, 4, 5 moves ahead. You have to be anticipating that. And then once you get real good at being moves ahead, you can use reverse psychology to it. You get what I'm saying? It takes time. It takes time of thinking it through,
realest times. Because at the time where I got stuck, it was one of the realest times of being this. Now everybody's just doing it, man, to get by. So let's pay the room. You just got to pay the room for the day. Get a sack. Might be able to get you an outfit.
I think you're easy to misread because your voice, your presentation.
Now listen, this is the second interview. I want y'all to hear what the YT man tells them and how he answers it, to where we don't know. Is he selling him? Is he selling him right now? Or is he leaning into this type of podcasting world because he's getting so much attention from it that it's turning into entertainment instead of utilizing that attention to be educating, right?
Is very...
I'm passionate.
Comes off as aggressive.
I'm passionate, not combative.
But I find you to be one of the kindest and most compassionate people I know. I mean, you said to me when you saw me today, thank you for being alive the same time I'm alive. Who says that?
I appreciate you for everything.
It's beautiful.
I appreciate you for everything.
No one's ever said that to me.
Okay. Now, this is the second one.
Thank you for being alive the same
This
time
is the second one. Hold
Who
on.
says that?
I appreciate you for everything.
It's beautiful.
I appreciate you for everything.
No one's ever said that to me.
Okay. Now, this is him going into the no jumper, right? He goes to the no jumper from this. So he goes to the no jumper from this, right? And notice how he's still in his education mindset. He wants to educate people. And I believe he's wanting to educate people more because he's the guest. I got a couple more videos where he's the guest, where he's in the opportunity of being asked questions so he can give the education he needs, right? So notice his whole mission in the beginning was trying to educate people of basically the real of the lifestyle and how everybody's making a mockery of it. And he does it in his way until he gets in the belly of the beast, until people start, he's hosting, you feel me, the show now. He has his own show or whatnot. But we're going to break it down. Let me not get too ahead of myself. So this is the second one, right? So after he did the little soft white, nobodies, he goes over here to the jumper crew, right? And notice how the conversation is when he's first guest on the no jumper crew, how he's still in his educational mindset, right? Notice.
Coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm in here with one of the most requested guests in recent memory. We got Sharp, formerly of Soft White Underbelly. I guess currently of. He'll probably make some more appearances, right?
Currently? I don't know, maybe.
You're not sure?
Not sure.
Damn, Mark rubbed you the wrong way?
No, man.
That would be a tragedy if I heard
Just moving fast. I mean, I just, just doing other things, man. Just trying to move on,
Right.
Keep pushing.
So give the people a little bit of an idea of how you ended up on Soft White Underbelly, what the introduction was there.
Fucking skeptical.
Because you had never done anything like that on camera necessarily?
Fuck no. I never did none of that shit, man. Most I ever did was fucking record myself or fucking sitting there, in a car or something. I ain't never fucking went and sat amongst some fucking cameras.
So notice he's explaining. He's never done that, right? So me, I'm thinking, okay, the first interview, you're getting a lot of eyes and ears listening to you, and you've never been in that position before. How do you handle that? How do you handle that, man? You're saying you a 16, saying you come from the lifestyle, right? How do you handle that persona? Do you come in wanting to educate, or do you come in wanting to entertain? And I believe he came in wanting to educate. Why? We got a couple more videos I'm going to show, including this one, where he's starting out, and even on the Soft White Nobodies, he was starting out trying to educate. But it was his first one, so he was skeptical. He didn't open up as much. He didn't know the core audience. As he progresses in his younger podcasting days, or his earlier podcasting days, notice how he's educating. Keep that in mind. Let's go.
And this man started asking me questions about my life, and I was standoffish at first, like I didn't fucking know him. You know what I'm saying? Like how it all started, man, was I got a call from my buddy. He was like, "Hey, man, this dude, man, he's doing these interviews, and I did it as a favor to my boy. It's my guy, so I fuck with him. So he was like, man, come down, come shoot it with me. Give you some money. You can sit down, man. Just tell me your story, man. Just tell me, where you came from. How you came up." And I was like, all right, so I went and did some research on him real quick, and I started seeing, man, some real fucked up people, man, he was interviewing, you know what I mean? Look at, man, when I went and did that shit, I didn't expect any of that, man. At first, when I started seeing all the negative comments and shit was coming out, I said, man, Mark, fuck you, man. I'll give you your money back, take that shit down.
Oh, really?
I swear to you, man.
You see, he's seeing the negative comments, right? And instead of being like, okay, this is my opportunity to educate, I see a lot of people don't understand the lifestyle. I see a lot of people are using the negative stereotypes of the lifestyle, right? Let me go back over here and educate these people. No, because he's very passionate, and everybody is. Sometimes, you're not thinking that far ahead yet because you're the first one to do it, right? You're the first one to get in that area, so you have nobody to look or learn from. You just going in on winging it, right? So you going in heavy with your passion of who you is. You know what I'm saying? Instead of understanding your audience, to where now we can look back on it. So now moving forward, we can understand how to maneuver. We can learn from this. It takes one to go get battle tested and go into the belly of the beast to kind of understand how to measure it, right? To where it's like, okay, you got to go more into the scholarship way. You can't go in even though you're articulating well and it's making sense, but you're still over passionate, right? So let's continue. Let's keep it going.
First, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't think I want to let anybody in that deep. I was skeptical of him, man. I'm sitting in front of this white man. He's asking me all these questions. I'm answering them to him as best as I can. Don't look at me as, he's fucked up. He looks at me as an intelligent individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had full-blown heart-to-heart conversations, man. So, I'm not lacking in that department on him, and he kind of saw it. So he just wanted to tap in a little bit more. So, and that's how we kind of got to it. And then shit just kind of started.
See, notice how he's talking. He's letting you know that he's coming in with intellect. And that the white tee man over there with Soft White, he's seen that, right? Notice he said he was interviewing a lot of people that was on the Skid Row area and all that stuff, to where now he's seen something different within me. Now, I don't know if he's trying to be a fan, if he's looking up to the white tee man, I don't know. But how do you handle that position? Are you coming in as the educator, or is you coming in as the entertainer? Right? How do you handle it?
Flourishing from there, man. I didn't expect that shit. People were talking bad, man. But then they start talking good, It's kind of like that, right? I guess, it always starts with some bullshit, but then they don't see it, they kind of miss it.
Well, people see you having very much like the gift of gab and really being able to... I think people see you being such a smooth operator there that they can then sort of put the pieces of the puzzle together and be like, oh, this is how he coerces people into doing things that they wouldn't otherwise.
You see? Coerces. Now they're using them. Now he's using them words. Notice how Sharps handles it. He heard that word before, right? We all hear that word, coerce. Notice how Sharps handled it.
Want to do, which I could see it. I could see you, very much like talking somebody out of their last $5.
Hey, man, I'd give a person my last five. I'm not a person. Listen, man, I ain't trying to ever talk anybody out of anything. That's never what I had gotten to the game for, man, when I was in it, Everything was by choice, man. Nothing's by force, nobody's fucking with. See, that's where they get the game fucked up at. That's what I try to talk to Mark about, That's where they get the game fucked up at, man. Real ones ain't fucking with little kids and sending little kids and sex trafficking, man. That's not what's going on, man, for people who's really playing it.
Right. Notice he's educating. He's educating. He's coming in with a clean mindset. No theatrics, right? No over emotional. He understood the dude, kind of did a little jab at him. He understood it, played chess with it, and came in educating, right? Notice, this is the beginning.
You know what I mean? Like, there's too many. You have to think about it, man. This game, it used to be, it's like I said, a secret society. Now you got everybody trying to fucking play it. You don't really know who's who. That's why I say I got San Diego game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Okay, this is another one, right? This is another one where he's educating. This is another one where he's educating, right? And he goes even deeper. Now, this dude, Holding Court podcast, I don't know if y'all know, he's an intellectual, right? He's a thinker, right? He's always in the subcultures, being thinking and seeing it for what it is. I believe he had Umar Johnson on his podcast before, right? So that kind of tells you the type of audience he has, where they're thinkers, right? Notice how he was starting out, notice how Sharp was starting out in the beginning, trying to teach. This is before, I don't know if this is right when he got his show, his little Shark Tank, or right before. But this is all the beginning to where his mindset is about educating, right? All right, let me play it.
How to move and make something of myself, whether that's negative or positive. That's motherfuckers, I really don't give a fuck, because they'll be like, oh, what, they taught you how to be a pimp? Yeah. Like, hey, motherfucker taught me how to survive. That's right. You know what I'm saying? We live in a world where you gotta.
You heard what he said, right? Oh, he taught you how to be a pimp. No, they taught me how to survive. Educating. This is the beginning.
Survive, man. If you don't know, if you can't live, you still have to survive. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So, start going to Dago, man, and that's why I always say, like, I'm a Sandy Vegan. The most of it is the interaction, the fantasy she sells. So, in essence, she need to pimp that trick. She need to get it hit. See, she knew how to move from the lip. That's right. It's all about mouth. It's all from the lip. Come on, man. If you got bitches out here busting a trick down for 30, 40,000, nigga, it just wasn't the pussy. She knew how to move from the lip. That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important for a woman that's in the game. It's not about selling pussy. Right. That's just the fantasy and idea of it. You know what I'm saying? But the most of it is the interaction. Yes. The fantasy she sells.
Right. Notice it's all about education. Notice when he's being a guest on somebody else's podcast, how he's in the educational mindset. How he's in the educational mindset. Notice I appreciate somebody tapping the hats. The hearts. Keep tapping the hearts, hitting the likes. We locked in here, man. Well, let's grow the audience. Let's get some people in here. If y'all just now coming in, have a seat, man. You might learn something. Have a seat. Stick around for a minute, right? Stick around for a minute. What we touching on is how, the gentleman right here entered the podcast world trying to educate the square audiences, right? And then somewhere down the line, we don't know if the entertainment took over the education. We don't know what happened with it. We got time to talk about it.
In essence, she need to pimp that trick. She need to get in his head. That's how it goes. That's right. And break him for everything he got. It's like you pimping the trick telepathically through her. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you know what I mean? You really trained her up. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So, and I game's changed though, Corey, and I'll tell you why it's changed. Because, it's hard to be around your bitches anymore. You can't really do it because you're gonna catch cases. Nigga, they giving niggas that's pimping these days. That's why I kind of got away from it. That's right. Hey, once the laws change, I change. Niggas call something different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they want to sex traffic.
Notice he's correcting, the misconceptions. Everybody keeps giving the misconceptions in the beginning. He's correcting it. Notice he's explaining the game, right? Notice, man, he's speaking to people that don't have experience in the lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? So right now, it's teaching over entertainment, right? Right now, he's understanding that his confidence has a purpose. You get what I'm saying? He's understanding the message before the personality. You get what I'm saying? And I think that was there all along, but sometimes when you're in the belly of the beast, the numbers outweigh you, right? Everybody's outweighing you to where it puts a toll on you. You don't have nobody else that's kind of like you in that same area. So you're constantly going at it with squares, you know? This gentleman, you know, he was going at it with all kinds of squares in lifestyle. But notice what he's doing, right? Notice what he's doing.
Yeah.
Or they put these harsh titles on it to make it stick. But to me, I really feel like they just jealous, baby, that they can't do it. That's all that really is.
Yeah.
They want to cut. Understand. Listen, I understand. Don't fuck with underage girls.
Right.
Don't force anybody to do
That's
anything.
right.
This shit's always been by choice.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
what she wants.
Right. It's always been my choice. Notice the passion before the popularity. You get what I'm saying? To where, you know, he's becoming a trusted voice. People are understanding and getting it. It's actually making sense. He's coming from a genuine place. This is the beginning, right? You ask yourself, you know, what was his original mission? I believe it was trying to educate, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, who was he really trying to reach? I believe he was trying to reach the square audience. You know what I'm saying? You know? And now this is this, you know, trickery question. Was the education the priority? Or was the fame, you know, was getting known, getting attention the priority? Because sometimes when you know your priorities, when you get distracted, when you get stressed, when everybody's all up against you, you could come back and analyze because you know your mission, right? You know what the priority mission is. You get what I'm saying? To where, like I said, sometimes when you're the first one that's trying to educate on this type of platforms, sometimes, you know, you don't know and you get caught up in the mix of everything. You know what I mean? You get caught up in the mix. All right, here we go.
To do, not what she has to do. There's no obligation. The door's not locked.
Yeah.
But
Niggas pimping. Don't buy into this niggas pimping. Is you low key different?
That's why I really blame the chicks when it comes to that aspect of the game. Because I'm like, bitch, you had to choose.
Nah, I
it's
agree.
called choosing up, not choosing regular, not choosing down.
Choosing up.
Choosing up.
Yeah.
May your next move be your best move.
That's right.
I mean,
Period.
Can I say so? I think this is, I mean, this may be controversial, but these are like some real life principles.
Yeah. I
Listen,
mean,
daughter, don't buy into this niggas pimping.
No.
Don't buy into this niggas pimping.
Clearly.
Is you low key pimping on my daughter right here? You buying into your shit?
No, but you know what this does?
That's how it starts.
No, because you know what this does? This goes to show you, right, that a person like myself, coming from where I come from, can still stand on the same morals, same principle, still clean my house and flush the toilet just the same as you, sweetie. I do the same motherfucking thing. Just so happens I might get my bread a different way.
Right. And this is educating, right? Notice how he's educating them, right? Notice how he's like, no, I'm not trying to do this. I'm trying to let you ladies and gentlemen know that we're just human beings like you. You know, we just live life differently than you. Notice the education in the beginning, right?
That's
at
right.
that time, you know. So it doesn't change my philosophy. I did this to better my life.
Right.
I didn't get into the game because it was a style or it was a fashion.
Right.
No, it was something that I was damn good at.
Yeah, no, that's right.
The studio and I got sound stages.
Mhm.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Like we sitting down having a conversation in this picture,
Yeah.
but it's the same with employees, who's performer, who
Yeah,
gotta go.
yeah,
Like it's just
yeah.
no matter what you do.
It's,
life
it's
is-
maneuvering your pieces
Yeah,
in your
it's
life.
just
Yeah.
figuring
How
out
did it
what it is.
affect you? How did you deal with the first time you got knocked?
Well, you know, they always say, man, you know, you ain't pimping until you get moved for a bitch.
Yeah.
You ain't
Did
really
you
pimp.
get your exit fee?
No, what you mean get an extra?
I'm saying, did the nigga, you know, usually in the game,
No.
motherfucker, you know what I
Let
mean?
me tell you something. I'll tell you how this moves. So
More teaching. Look, they asking exit fee. Like, what is you talking about? Now he's about to teach you again, right?
right? So, you know, when you serve a nigga his papers,
Serve his papers,
yeah,
yeah.
call him like, hey man, shit, nigga, you got whatever you got about the bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, oh, here, let me break you off, nigga. Here, like you're buying the bitch. No, man, if the bitch move, that's why they always tell you, stack your dough.
Mm-hmm.
Stack your, man, you gotta stack that whole dough up, man. You can't be playing with it because it ain't no telling when that bitch gonna leave, man. I told you. See what I'm, it's like peanut butter and jelly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Up and down, right and left. You know what I'm saying? Sky and ground, whatever the fuck. Pimps and hoes, man.
So you feel
Pimps and
like,
hoes.
so you feel
Go
like
together.
breaking them off is a part of keeping them, you know,
Man,
attached.
listen, Oh, okay. Let's really break this down. We're all going to school right now, okay, for this. We got to talk.
Come on, take us there, bro.
If we could consider it in a sense of it's the same thing as a serious relationship. How
Right.
serious do you want the relationship to get? She can go out and do whatever the fuck it is, bro. Come home, hop in the shower, get in bed with me, and I'll never crack an eye or look at him.
Notice it's all about the education in the beginning, right? He's all about educating in the beginning. You know, he understands that the squares are getting this lifestyle confused. So now he has to bring it into their terms so they understand. This is the beginning. This is before the big audiences, right? Just keep watching.
Any different. I accepted that. I'm in acceptance. I can accept what I've gotten myself into. I'm not just there just for the pussy. You know what I'm saying? But who am I supposed to have sex with? Go have a whole wife on the side and got, oh, these bitches still got brains. They're not staying what they're supposed to be a part of. You know? Because they always trying to blame the pimp and they ain't never trying to blame the bitch. Dead ass serious.
You just got the Holy Ghost.
And he's right, you know, but he's speaking passion. And once again, this is good. This is good. We could take this, but I want more of the why, right? More of the why, because when the audience is in the comments and the ones that see it, they're still thinking it's a gimmick, right? They're still thinking it's a gimmick. Hear me out.
No, for real. You asking, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
For real. And my theory, my philosophy to this shit. You know?
So a lot of this shit that you
has got put out or like, you know what I'm saying? This shit, like now everybody say, oh, it's sex trafficking. Nobody gave a fuck about pimps and hoes. To them, we were always the low bottoms. We was always something to laugh at and look at. And guess what happened? You want me to tell you why they changed the law and why they started really fucking with niggas?
That was my next question.
You know why? It's because they start seeing niggas having 7, 8 houses, 15 cars, nigga.
Notice he's educating, and he's just giving one example, right? One example he's saying, and in totality he's saying, because, you know, the tricks are the ones that own, you know, that's the police and all that makes the laws, right? So if they see the independent man living good because they showcasing it however they do, and then when they get in them people's business, they realize they was a gentleman of the lifestyle, they don't like that. They need a piece of that, right? They need their money back, or they need a piece of that, or they need to control it, or whatever the case may be. So that's why they try to merge HT and pimping together now, right? When reality is, we all know a true gentleman of lifestyle is nowhere near the HT. But let him smoke. Let him continue.
You know what I'm saying? Cash in the house, $1.5 million, $3 million. Hold on, Uncle Sam scratching his head. Hey, what y'all doing? It only became a problem when they found out niggas was making real money.
like
That's why a lot of bitches, they'll tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? I remember bitches say, like, man, they used to have tricks all the time. Like, before they would come see me, they'd be like, you're going to have your pimp rob me? Your pimp going to come in and rob me, right, as I come in? It's crazy, you know? It's insane. I feel like that really fucked up the game a little bit. So I feel like that's why OnlyFans and shit like that, it thrives. Because tricks are, man, they're afraid of they tired of getting caught, going through shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tricks go to jail for that shit, too.
That's right.
They go to...
Because you interview, obviously, the women,
Okay.
from the game.
Now, this is him speaking on his mind of where he thought him hosting can go, right? Because notice, what I've just showed y'all so far is him being a guest on people's podcasts, right? And how his mind is trying to educate in that way, right? But now he's talking about the host, how he's turning into the host and what he's expecting the outcome of him doing hosting to be. So notice what he says.
Hip hop rappers, like,
You know, I
where do
haven't
you want to
even
go?
interviewed. Like, I think, honestly, I've only sprinkled a little bit of the game into my interviews. Like, I've had some great ones. And every, like, real bit when I've done has done numbers. All the way from, shout out to Silky Slim, PGO, they whole camp. Like, I've been fucking with Silky for a long time. His interview did well. I did fucking Pippin Ken did Pippin Ken. Pippin Ken's did extremely well as well. Did Virgil. His did great. Who else? I did those 3. Who else have I done?
You did Big Court and Silk the Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some pimping, man.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like some.
I got a little bit.
Like they came from some pimping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like from the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you say like.
I got pimp bones.
Like I've interviewed people from the game. I'm like, man, I've only like sprinkled it in a little bit. And why is because I didn't want to get caught in just that to where I hit that ceiling.
Exactly.
I wanted people to know that me and doing Sharp Tank was going to be a diverse move. I wanted people to know that I can have some diversity, and I've interviewed people from boxers to, you know what I'm saying? I've done it all.
So he's done it all, right? He's trying to get diverse with his interviewing, right? But within getting diverse with your interviewing, you got to understand you're turning into the host. So if you're turning into the host, are you gonna try to educate still, or are you gonna try to educate yourself how to be, a better host and asking questions that might not, come back to the lifestyle, might be more relatable in the square world? Or do you rather educate the square world about the unique subculture that you came from? I really think that's where Sharp came in the middle of it, right? He wanted to educate, but because the core audiences was so square and the people he worked for was keep bringing more squares that think they're hip to the lifestyle, like P stars or OnlyFans girls or rappers like that, they want to be attached to the lifestyle but they're not, so he gets frustrated. And then when the opportunity came for him to be the host and teaching, I'm gonna show you how he handled it. But we got one more education video where he was on a podcast, right? He was on a podcast giving good education. I want to play this real quick.
Gorgeous Dre is a very good friend of mine. That was the one that I felt like they fixated around in that documentary. Because that was the only one they went in when he went to jail. They actually, shout out to Gorgeous Dre, man. I love you, bro. You already know what it is, church, and we always gonna stay rocking. They actually got clearance to go into the jail and film him being in there while he was waiting on his case. You know what I'm saying? So, and then to see him today become this, he's this street czar is what it's called. Pretty much, like, they've given him an office, he's pretty much into
works for the city,
works for the city, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, works for the city, works for the gun. This was a very well-known pimp.
I mean,
so I think people exactly. So I think people need to buy. What I'm trying to say is, I think people need to stop looking at people's past and see where they're going.
And cheap ass cat, chipmunk fur meat that can't even close past his nipples, little ass coat. I mean, he really. It was a joke.
And when I asked him where he got his game from, you know what he told me?
You.
He said me.
And we're gonna get into that. Notice this is gonna be a main way where he could have educated, because I believe he did an interview with two unknown tricks, right? They could be potential tricks out there in the world where he could have really gave them some education of his lifestyle and drifted them the right way before destruction. And then he interviewed, a renegade with an illusion, to where he could have educated that. And I'm gonna get into it. We got more. Don't worry. I'm gonna just let this one finish up.
See, they box the pimp music in because they feel like they feel like it's only a certain space, it's only to a certain audience. But I feel like the world need to listen to it, because you can still pick up some game even if you're not sending the bitch. Just listen to what they're saying.
Now he was talking about the music. Notice he's giving knowledge of all the nuances of where people want to tether towards this lifestyle, right? Keep that in mind. He knows how to educate about the music. Hey, the music is boxed in. You got real gentlemen that's doing it. I didn't get, he broke it down. He started naming all the real gentlemen and educating her about the differences, right? But it was too much. I didn't want to take it all in, right? We want to stay focused on him just trying to educate the square audiences of the real in the beginning. Then once he gets the bigger audience, how things can get a little fishy, right?
It's bigger than the game of pimping the horns, the game of life.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you your own GTA character. For the ones that don't understand it here, I'll put it in their terms. Your own GTA character, nigga. You gotta really live by what you're saying, by what you're doing. Like, when I came up in this shit, like, for real, there was never no slashes. Like, I didn't have no slashes with it. I wasn't a pimp / D-boy / gangbanger / I didn't have all that. To get 100% out, you had to put 100% in. You know what I'm saying? And you always wanted to be known as a factor from your section.
Right. Now, he's speaking the real, educating. Those was his being, he's getting interviewed on other people's shows, other people's podcasts, right? And I believe that lady, she's an intellect too. She had Dr. Umar as well. I believe her name is Don't Call Me White Girl, something like that, right? And he's educating on these platforms, right? To where now when he gets the opportunity to get his own show or his own podcast, whatever you want to call it, Shark Tank, he has a bigger audience, right? He has a majority of a square audience, right? To where he might start getting the same repetitive people and start asking the same repetitive questions, to where now the main focus might be to just go viral, right? The main focus might be just the clip culture, right? The biggest energy, the biggest interview, you know, the more attention, you know what I'm saying? To where it's more about a brand recognition, right? Becoming, you know, a character towards this audience now. And it's less about educating the audience that you build. The squares that's built around you, some of them come to get knowledge, right? And I believe these gentlemen that we're about to show in the lady, they actually came to try to get knowledge, and this is, you know, a missed opportunity in my eyes to educate them because of being surrounded by so many squares and them wanting attention and, you know, all of this other stuff that it might be very challenging to remain focused, right? Focus on educating. So here we go. This is the one, I believe, this is the Kelby one, right? And we're just going to give some examples of how, you know, when you get in a position, sometimes trying to deliver an educational message, you know, is not fun. It's not entertaining. You get what I'm saying? And this is the examples.
No Jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world.
It's on and cracking now. It's on and cracking for that. And he got his sharpest, coolest, you know, he's in it now. Is it about education still? And I'm pretty sure it is. Deep down, it's always been about that with him. That's why he gets so passionate. But sometimes the passion, you lack the message because you're over passionate and less scholarly about it, you know?
And today, we got what? Lil Kelpie? Lil Kelpie. You know we gonna get on all that. Hey, church, do me a favor and take that jacket off. You gotta take that jacket off, bro. You got to take that off. No, so what? Take that shit off. I mean, that's a fraud, though, but you're not gonna wear that.
Notice, this is the beginning of the show. This is the beginning. And this is how he acts in the beginning. He's already sizing the young man up because of all the mockery stuff that he's already done. When this could have been an educational moment, but you can tell from the beginning that he's not interested in educating. He's trying to get the clips right now. He's trying to get viral moments right now, which is nothing wrong with it. But you got to understand your core audience that you're at. They look at you like a gentleman of the lifestyle, right? So you got to understand you can't feed into what they want. You got to keep giving them the real. You got to keep giving them the education, the scholarship, to where they get a true understanding and a true outlook on a pimp handling himself amongst squares, right?
Bro, if you want to do this, no, I'm not talking about that, but you got to take that off, though, bro. Before we can talk, yeah, if you can put it back on or what it is, take it off, bro. Be a real one. No, be a real one. Take that thing off.
They've been down with me for a while. They've been ride or die for a long ass time, 2 years.
So you started with them bitches?
I started with them, yeah.
But you said before, what about all them past bitches you were speaking about?
That was
And then he got bro next to him, and I don't know, bro. I don't know. You know, I might have to do some homework on bro. What's his name? Suspect. I don't know much about him. But it looks like they're trying, I guess that's the next closest thing to a pimp on the podcast. So they bring him in, and it's like more of a interrogation, a chopping or whatnot. And I get that. And that's cool. That's all fun and dandy. But it's the core audience are squares. So they're not going to understand that, right? They're not going to understand a chopping. Now, if we was outside doing something and y'all wanted, that's different. The core audience is the squares, so you, I would think, want to stay in an educational format, right? Always education, always trying to keep your cool. Now, I don't know if the entertaining was what you was hired for at that time, then you might want to turn down the job. It's like, look, if I can't, but I don't think that's what it is, because later in the video when we hear, you know, bruh from No Jumper speak on the issue, we'll hear his take and, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But I don't really think that was the issue, right? I think he enjoyed doing this.
real pimping. That was how hustle.
So you...
You suck like fuck for that, church. You suck like fuck for that, my nigga. I'm gonna be real with you, dog. We don't respect that around here. I respect you as a man. Listen to me. I respect you as a man, and you trying to be bro. Because I see a lot of people that comment about you, and they're like, "Man, I went to high school with him." Like you only changed up to this after you had got. I think you got in a car accident or somebody hit you with a car. But you ain't got to a car.
Now, he's did his homework. He's did his homework on the young man, so he obviously knows, right? But his approach is so anger, and I get it. And it's not anger, it's passionate because an individual is portraying to be in the lifestyle, right? And that's where the passion of, oh my God, just stop comes in at, right? While as I look at it, is this is your chance, and other people that might be in the same situation as the nigga Kelby can learn from. So you got to give the whys. Remember how I said I'm going to be bringing up the whys earlier in the show? This is another case where bring out the why questions. You have to ask questions and let them ramble, even if it's bullshit, even if you don't want to hear it. Let the audience hear it, and then you're able to correct and educate, right? You got to let them, lack of words, hang theirself. Attempt to. The only way you can do that with a dialogue is letting them speak, right? And I think that's the issue, right? He wanted people to know, more about personally him, which is nothing wrong. Somewhere down the line, I don't think that was the true intent in the beginning, but somewhere down the line, when you're getting a lot of views, you're getting special deals on the podcast, where the pimping comes into the podcast world, right? Is it going to be about education? Or is it going to be about entertainment? When you're in the belly of the beast, how do you present yourself, right? When you're getting all the attention from all angles and you having it your way, do you let go of the education and just keep rocking to get the views and the numbers and the clickbaits? Or do you educate? And that's a challenging spot to be in, right? To where I think he's really trying to educate. He's really trying to do both at the same time, right? But within doing both at the same time, now people start looking at you and creating a narrative on you. As for if you stay in that scholarship way and you're always always educating because you're the gentleman of the lifestyle and that's what's important, there's no room to create a narrative because nothing ruffles your feathers. Nothing gets you, on the edge of your seat. You get what I'm saying? Because it's always an educational moment. You understand that the squares are not going to understand the message that you're trying to relay, or they're going to try to infiltrate the game. We already know there's going to be infiltration in the game. Don't let that get you so riled up. Now, do I think he made a mistake? No, I just think he was the first to do it, right? He was the first in that type of position on a podcast with mainly squares talking to another square that's acting like he's a pimp. You get what I'm saying? To where I might handle myself the same way he did in that situation if I'm the first one, right? I doubt it if it was me, but someone would, right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody would. That wouldn't have been me. You know what I mean? I would have brought education to that motherfucker. I would have broke Kelby down.
Accident though when you was in school.
I just giving a fuck because I got some brain damage from that.
You start taking medication.
No, I wasn't prescribed any pain.
You wasn't on no type of medication.
Just Tylenol. They didn't give me anything. They
you be lying,
2 milligrams
Kelby.
of morphine in the hospital when I got hit by.
And listen, you see, he asked him, do you do any medication? And he goes straight to you lying. No, just ask more questions. So he has to, everybody would know he's lying without you having to say he's lying. Everybody will hear his words get tripped up, so we all know he's lying then. But when you say you lying, you come in the dislike, I don't want to use hateful, but you come in that hater way. In the 16 ain't hating, especially amongst squares, we educated. You get what I'm saying?
The car, I had a broken leg, concussion, I got a fat scar on my face. But now that, you want to see it?
Kelby, no,
Okay.
I don't want to see that.
They didn't give me
I don't want to see that, Kelby.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not talking about that, bro. I'm not talking about that because you already said you done been on opiates.
Yeah, I have.
That's what you like to be. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But I'm just saying, so for you to just sit here and try to look at me and tell me like, oh yeah, no, I never took anything for it. There was people that knew you, man. That you was a good kid, buddy.
See, he's still trying to reach him. He's still trying to reach young Kelby, but it's less education now more. Do you see? It's getting less and less education and more entertainment, right? Remember the first videos I showed you when he's actually been, people asking him questions? You have to be able to wear, one foot in the other when you're a true gentleman of this lifestyle and you want to participate in this podcast world, I would imagine, right? You have to be able to be interviewed, and then if you want to be the host of a show, I would think that's very challenging for the pimpin' because pimpin' got a lot to say all the time, right? But if you are one, you have to know how to, carry yourself still in a pimpish manner. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, I don't know no two true gentlemen of the lifestyle that was actually host of a show. That's what I'm saying. Miss Sharp was the first, you could say the first supposedly pimp, that, and I don't know if he's a pimp or not because I don't personally know him, but he claims to be, he used to be, or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna respect it because from what he said when he's educating, I can see that we're like-minded in some things, right? But for one to want to become a host that was in the subculture lifestyle and then want to be a host amongst squares, I'm pretty sure a gentleman can handle it, right? It's only the option of if he wanted to, and if he did, you have to bring scholarship. You gotta understand you're dealing with a bunch of squares. So every day is gonna give you a headache. You signed up for it, right? So bring scholarship so the squares can get a true understanding of how a gentleman of the lifestyle handles themselves in, irritating moments. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, and I'm not talking about Sharp right here, but sometimes an individual, right, when they're so passionate, the squares look at that like aggressiveness, right? So when the squares look at that as aggressiveness, they think that's how, the pimping is with his hoes. You get what I'm saying? So if you're bringing scholarship and you're able to, make substance with your word, and if you're a host, ask creative questions to really get an understanding if this person's in the lifestyle or not, right? Especially if you're interviewing somebody that's in the lifestyle. Especially if you're interviewing somebody in a lifestyle, you should want to be a good interviewer and an educator, right?
To sit there and claim something that's traditional to some pimping or to anything that's even to what you've seen. Where have you seen it other than on TV or on YouTube?
On YouTube, I respect a lot of the videos I've seen from you, from Kenny Red.
But where have you seen it in the street? You got to be out there to go get it. That's where you obtain it. You can't obtain it. Yeah, bro, you can't obtain it. But this isn't like learning cooking. This isn't learning how to cook a new dish, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you this, because you have to really live this one. It's some things you got to go through. You got to really put your face on Front Street and
see, he is educating, but notice how, the true education comes from getting the person that you're trying to educate to understand. And I believe the best way to get people to understand is by asking them questions, right? That's why you see the psychologists ask the motherfuckers plenty of questions because you get a better understanding of them. So then you know how to educate them, right? And I get it, man. When you're amongst a lot of squares, it's very easy to keep using the same shallow terminologies and, rejuvenating and reiterating the same shallow game, right? To where, hey, man, this, that, right? To where, because you're around all squares, so you don't have to go into depth. But sometimes when you want to educate, you should go into depth in a scholarly way, right? In a philosopher's way, right? Where you're asking questions and then educating. Because that makes a good interview too, especially if that's your job, right? Instead of just, being very passionate and, and anybody can do that. That's why I said if we was outside, that's proper. But if you're on a platform where it's a bunch of squares and they're looking at the pimping's every move, you want to showcase scholarship. That would have been, excellent if it would have played out that way, because then the squares would have been like, damn, Pimpin' know how to handle himself. Even though he handled himself how he wanted to, like if we was outside, but still, I would have think it should have been done a little different, right?
Been out there, only to where people know you, not only just in your little backyard, but around the country.
Okay,
if you've really done it, but they don't even really know you in your backyard because you've never really even set them down. You never really even played that. You told me costumes that you got on, nigga. You disrespected us with that chain. You disrespected us with that coat, and nigga even trying to play these games that you playing, bro. We don't play that. You like to keep your bitches on drugs. What type of nigga is you?
And then he kind of get into the gangbang mindset too. Notice how he kind of. It's like, bro, you can't let go of the pimping. And I get it. We all live and we learn. And I give him the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, to my knowledge, I ain't never seen the pimping trying to be a host on a Squares podcast. So that's a challenging thing to do.
What type of traditional shit is that? But you said it was traditional. That ain't what you said. That is what it is. I ain't disrespect. I just called a fucking a spade a spade. I called a spade a spade. I called a spade a spade. I can't trust you because you already said that's what you condone. Like, speak about the money.
Without saying anything specific, the money was not from drugs because I was not selling drugs. So wherever the money came from, y'all can decide that for yourselves, but don't say it. I'm not going to say it.
You act like a real...
See, and then this is a perfect time to question. The money, whatever you, this is a perfect time for a question, but this was Sharp. This was Sharp say.
Now you using this
You was a real sucker, bro.
About your business, because you're not even 100, bro, and I feel bad for you. And I'm gonna tell you this, dog. Just don't at the end of it all, right? And all in all, don't come perpetrating something you ain't never even fucking stepped your foot in, boy. Yes, you did, though.
You're not gonna get people to get an understanding of why. You telling them right, but give the why. Because when they deflect, when they don't believe it, or when they deny what you're saying, you can't get passionate right there, right? Okay, you're not gonna be this, and they be like, but why? I mean, they be like, no, yes, I am. Then this is where you give the why, or this is where you come with a follow-up question to see where their mind is. Why do they think they're gonna be successful in this lifestyle? Why do you think you're gonna be successful in this lifestyle? Oh, because this and that, and then you get a better measuring point of where to enter the conversation to educate at, right?
Yes, you have, boy. Even in that interview, yes, I noticed that some of your never have, never will. No. Where'd you learn that from?
Never have, never will.
Never have, never will. I'm not talking about me. I'm just saying, like, you never have, never will. Because you say that about a lot of shit, but you do a lot of shit.
I do a lot of shit, but not the shit you're claiming that I do.
All this, bro.
No, I didn't.
But you lied about all of it, homie.
The proof is on the paper. Read it.
I already did.
Yeah.
We already know what it is.
I brought this paper.
It's like you see how he moves past it.
The amount of
shit from this. What? You're not about to make shit. What, nigga? I said you ain't about to make shit from this, nigga.
Why? Listen, this is clickbait. This is, when the platform starts pulling people in. This is when the platform starts pulling the pimping in. You know what I'm saying? The bigger platforms, right? Now he's getting them consistent reactions. He's looking for them viral moments. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get the algorithm going, that internet pressure, right? Trying to get the audience approval. I don't know if he's intentionally doing this. Is he strategically doing this? Is he passionate behind this? All I know is that these are the opportunities that people are going to learn from. There's a lot of people just like this dude sitting in the middle, Kelby. There's a lot of cats out there like that, right? And I think this amplifies those people to keep being on, trying to be this and trying to be that. Because when they run into a true gentleman of lifestyle, supposedly, they get under their skin. So when they feel like they got under his skin, they feel like they won. They feel like they did something. You get what I mean? They don't feel like they learned anything. They feel like, okay, yeah, I'm doing something right because I got under the pimping skin. You get what I'm saying? To where now everybody that sees this type of stuff start thinking, okay, yeah, it's not, I could do this. This is, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it, right?
Don't what me, nigga?
From the game.
I'll really take off on you, dog. I'm being for real with you, homie.
Take it off on me, but listen.
No, I'm for real, though. I'll really take off on you, Kelby. You might want to keep that shit cool, nigga, and keep that shit real smooth, nigga.
Let me finish.
And stop fucking playing with me, boy, because there's niggas, there's real demons out here, nigga. There's real werewolves, nigga. And the shit that you kicking, this shit would have been got your ass deleted, nigga. Y'all niggas play this shit for fucking clout. You play it for clout.
Listen, I don't know if he's doing it for clickbait. I don't know if I think he's truly passionate. And I think this is his way of thinking, I'm going to scare him out of this lifestyle. I'm going to bully him out of the lifestyle. And that's one tactic to use, right? I'm talking about the audience that looks at this, though. How do they, how do you deliver the message to them, though? You know what I'm saying? I get it to the guest. You could do it. But there's tons of people looking at this that's going to create a narrative of the pimping. That's going to create a narrative of, participants in the lifestyle, because there's lack of education behind this for the audience.
Hey, almighty, niggas like him play it for clout. It sucks to see real ones pass, and they always say, like, when one dies, another one's born. Right. I hate to see if this is what the fuck is being spawned and what the fuck is born. I'm sorry, homie. Hey, so I'm gonna say this to say this, homie. Yeah. That's not pimping to me, because you gotta get served for a bitch, homie. You had to lose a bitch, my nigga, gain a bitch. Okay. Lose a bitch, gain a bitch. You ain't never even went through that. I don't have to. You don't have to.
Why? Give us the why, Sharp. That would be the best opportunity to teach. Because you're saying the right things, but he's taking it as defensive because you're not giving the why, right? Sharp ain't giving the why, so Kelby is going to be defensive at it, right? He's already came in the first thing he said, take the jacket off, so his mind is closed to learn anything. He's already got to be defensive because that's how the interview started.
Your shit's bullshit.
I can get out of all the bad shit that I've been doing. And get
all the bad shit I've been doing, because this has been your fucking plan the whole time. And you're trying to play that shit out, Caillou.
What's been my plan?
You're trying to play that shit out on me, Caillou, and I'm on to you. And I'm fucking on to you, bro. I'm supposed to do right, and then everybody on the camera will donate to me.
I think back then what he learned is the comments. So he learned that I want viral moments in the comments. So I want people talking to him, talking about him crazy in the comments instead of wanting to educate people. This is where you get in the belly of the beast, people. You ask yourself, man, did the platform slowly, change one from trying to be an influencer person, to now he just wants to get, entertain the people, right? You know what I mean? So does the platform slowly influence the creator? Sometimes that be the case, man. Do comments begin shaping conversations? Or is it truly about the education of keeping the ones that don't take the lifestyle seriously away from the lifestyle and telling them why they need to stay away from the lifestyle? Or is it more about entertaining and making a mockery of those ones that's trying to pretend to be in the lifestyle, huh? We got a couple more videos, man. Let's keep it going.
Shit, talk about some pimping, talk about the feds hit you, nigga, and they hit you for this amount of money, but you never told what they really hit you for, nigga. You just try to attach it to some pimping, and that's shame on you, nigga. You lying.
I was just telling about my life.
Shut the fuck up. You lying, nigga. You lying. You trying to lie about it, bro.
You tried to leave it out so niggas will put it together.
Yeah, bro. Watch what you trying to do.
Anything niggas done.
Y'all, if you're facing a case, are you really? If you're facing
a case, you're not gonna go on soft.
I'm not gonna go on soft. If you're already faced it, nigga, this game really helped you.
Your game, yeah?
Shit, he might be mad because that nigga went on soft white underbelly and tried to follow. He about to say he basically copied Sharp. That's why I'm trying to explain Sharp. This was his opportunity to educate instead of just try to get some entertainment by it. I told you there's still plenty of these people that be thinking they know some pimping because they good on the internet and see somebody, doing an interview.
Not my game, nigga. The game made money.
Yes.
You fucking sucker.
It helped me out.
You live out with a couple bucks.
A couple bucks?
I ain't trying to tell you to go get a couple dollars. That's a lot of money to you. It really is.
Racks.
Buddy,
but it's a good amount of
$500 is a couple bucks for you. That's a lot for you. You've never seen it? Your parents spent it on your Xbox last Christmas.
18 bands, so $5, $500, whatever.
No, nigga.
Not a lot of money.
You wrote that on the paper.
I wrote that on the paper.
You wrote that, sucker. You scum. You scum. I just wanted to ride with you for a second. I don't respect it. Get your bum ass on.
Is that an invitation to leave for real?
Huh?
Is that an invitation?
That's an invitation for you to get the fuck up.
Look how happy he is, though. Look how happy Kelby is to leave. He's like he wanted to be talked to that way. He feels like, yeah, man, I took my chopping from the pimps. I'm a real pimp now. No education behind it, And the people that was looking at this, they didn't get no education behind it either. They got pure entertainment.
Peace out.
Chop suey.
Okay, now this is another one where he has an altercation, and I try to get of course, Sharp did plenty of videos. Interviews and interviewed plenty of people, squares all over the place. I try to get the best ones that was game related. Now, we all know most of the ladies up here ain't really in the real lifestyle, but this is one that has the renegade illusion. This is another, and he tries to educate, but he has to educate trying to get viral moments. Instead of, and you're dealing with a woman, so it's a little different, right? It's dealing with a little woman to where, you could kind of talk a little bit crazier with them. And, as for the young man, I think you need to pull way more into the education. You need to pour way more into the education with the younger male, right? Now, with the ladies, I get it. She's an older lady. She thinks she know it all. It's a little different with the lady. But still, because you have the audience and you already, a gentleman of the lifestyle, you got to understand how to carry yourself, especially around the lady. Especially around. This is where, you install the most, gentleman-like prestige and mannerism dealing with the lady on the podcast, because this is where, the pimping showcase how he handles himself with women, whether she's a renegade, a maggot, whatever the case may be, because it's bigger than that. We ain't outside right now. We ain't in the subculture world. We in the square world. You know what I'm saying? So we want to educate the squares how we handle these females that, don't see eye to eye with the lifestyle, thinking they got that a renegade illusion, right? Let's get into it.
How you talking about crushing a woman? What? I'm a faggot? I'm a faggot? You're a faggot, bro. How you call a woman a fuck you?
He already starting off fire. You see what I'm saying? Now, just understand the square audiences, their perception of, oh, this is a pimp, and this is how all pimps talk to their girls. That's what they gonna believe. And I don't think he's purposely doing that. I think he got trapped in the belly of the beast. Dealing with all them squares, having squares around you on a regular basis, it gets irritating. Especially when they're trying to teach you and educate you on, the subcultural life, or telling you that they're a square, but they didn't found a shortcut to get, to act like they're in a lifestyle. That's very irritating, right? But the audience is looking at you handle it, not in a pimpish way. Even though it could be a pimpish way, right? If we was outside in our own world, yeah, that's very pimpish of how he's handling this. That's why no pimp has an issue with it. It's just that you have to know your audience. You got to know when you're, the pimping that want to become a podcaster, that means most of the people that's looking at you are squares. So this is the time that you educate them in a scholarly way.
Your fucking mother. You fucking dumb bitch. That's how I know you. How am I a fag? How am I? You calling me? I'm a whole woman. How you calling me a fag? Bitch. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
Go look it up. You put your shit right there in the dictionary.
A punk rock, bitch?
Yeah, you're fake.
What are you talking about?
Yes, you're a punk rock.
What are you talking about?
You always have
Nigga, you a pimp.
Yeah, he all the way in it now, man. He is all the way fuck educating. This is all entertainment. And he's keeping it. I don't know this lady's story. I don't know what her situation is. I'm pretty sure Sharp probably has some reasons behind calling her the names he's calling her, right? But at the same time, why not try to educate her of why you're thinking she's this X, Y, and Z, right?
You try to take money from bitches, bro. You take money from bitches. Bitches literally hit my line up.
And this is what happens. See, when you act like that, because she's a square, so she's automatically going to start going to the stereotypes. Like, oh, you a pimp. You take money they automatically, because this is a prime example when I'm always talking about, you can't match emotions with emotions, especially with dealing with a woman and you're a man, because you're going to lose or you're going to look dumb every time. Because the ladies know how to go to another level of their emotions every goddamn time. So there's no point of trying to match emotions with emotions. That's why I'm talking about scholarship and bringing, understanding, bringing logic to the conversation and letting her, if she gets amped up, fall back. Don't say nothing. There's no need to name call. If the shoe fit, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So there's no need to name call unless you're in the belly of the beast, you're distracted by everything, all the squares around you, and you're doing it for entertainment, right? And that's what I think, happened to this situation here. I think he just got caught up being in the belly of the beast. And as he's doing that, yeah, he'll give a little education, but he got to make it more entertaining.
But you bitches lit my line up. Bitches lit my line up and told me that you was trying to take their money, that you was calling up. They already have millions and da-da-da. If you would have.
I was doing it before.
Right, and where was you? Who was you?
Soft white. A pimp named Sharp.
Soft white, you did one documentary?
You see, he's still feeling himself, and there's nothing wrong with that. We get it. But it's about educating. Now she's trying to question him. You know, trying to get all in his business when he's supposed to be the host of the show. You got the wannabe pimp come up there. You got this wannabe independent renegade, whatever, come up here. We supposed to see the pimp and break them down, not compete with them, not meet them at their level. You know what I'm saying? Bring them up to the yo level, and if they can't handle it, everybody sees it because of how you interviewing them. I would love to have a show and I'm interviewing all these pretenders and wannabes out here and seeing their angle. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
4 or 5, baby. 4 or 5.
Like, come on.
But that don't even matter.
But where was you?
I was short.
All
I was
right.
moving around.
All right.
Getting
And
bread.
I'm Blue Jasmine, and I'm moving around and I'm
Bitches
getting
like
bread. Never in your life would you ever break a bitch like me. I want you to know that.
1,000
Maybe weaker
Judo.
bitches, that's
What's
you.
with Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nah, because the
All clickbaits, all entertainment. Less education, more entertainment now.
girls that was hitting me up saying you was trying to get their money, they look like some whack, weak bitches.
I don't even
One
know
of them
what
was
you're
a
talking
blonde.
about.
I don't remember.
Right,
One.
feminine energy. You could become a bad bitch who does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been going on.
What happened?
What? I'm saying it's the same format. I mean, in a sense, right?
Pimping like
What you
what?
think?
How's that pimping? The women's do
You know, you listen to me. No, I'm just saying, like, you trying to teach a woman to, you know what I'm saying, seduce men, or, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now he's trying to educate now. Now notice he's trying to educate, right? Let's see where it goes.
Some of this, it sounds like some pimping the home going
It's
on
not
to
really
me.
how
Like,
to do. It's not really how to
just
seduce
tell me I'm
men.
gonna do it without the pimping, like, which is cool. I mean, I'm not tripping off that.
Not really, it's
Some real
also-
renegade shit. I mean, I'm not mad though. I knew that's what you were from the beginning. It was like a very solo, like, you break tricks. You know what I'm saying? You're
I
gonna
don't
go
feel
do
like I
shit
break
like that.
tricks. I didn't really know what that
I
word
wouldn't
even
expect-
meant. Break before you.
Notice he didn't ask no questions. He's not asking questions. He's trying to throw his little jabs. But it's like the knockout to me is asking a question and letting them hang themselves. Because everybody sees it now, right? But when you try to just do the little jabs and the jabs and the jabs, those are just aha, ha ha, he he moments. Ha ha, he he. You know what I'm saying? But when you ask questions and let them have the floor, now everybody gets the opportunity to connect the dots to see what they're saying makes sense or not. You know what I'm saying?
Before I
But
came here.
how? When you always told me, like,
I never-
I teach you how to break a nigga.
No, I never said that. If you look, I never
You
said
did say
break.
that.
I don't even know. I really don't know that wording. Like that
But you
lingo
said that.
until that first show that we ever
No,
did.
we pulled that up. I mean, I don't. She throw the red flag. I mean,
No, yeah.
it all work.
Look, he's still more worried about catching her in a lie. The best way to catch a person in a lie is ask questions. Ask questions and let them catch themselves up in a lie.
No, but this book really is to guide women on what's out there in regards to men, because there are a lot of men that'll use you for your feminine power, your youth, your time, and before you know it, you'll be older. And me, look, I have an education, and I'm 18 months away from getting my bachelor's. So this got nothing to do with that.
What in that book teaches them how to be a better woman for a better
He asks a question. Let's see where it goes.
man?
So
What part?
this book teaches them how to
No,
decipher. No, this book teaches. It's about relationships. It's not about this. This book teaches you how to decipher what's what out there and how to get what you
Crazy.
can before giving what the man wants. It never says don't give it to them. It doesn't. I don't promote prostitution. Obviously, the end goal is to be with a person and find a person who's gonna provide and take care of you. But before you get that, you need to know how to
Why
identify
don't
the
you teach
besties.
them
Stay away
how to
from
be
the
a better woman
brookies.
for thee, so she can be a better woman for
This book is
a
not.
better man.
This
And the angle he's trying to do, he's trying to tell her, why nowhere in the book you're trying to teach them to be a better woman to man so they can have a man, right? That's his angle, but his approach to trying to bring that angle is very over the edge to where now you got to say the entertainment outweighs the education. If y'all get what I'm trying to explain, right? If you're really trying to educate somebody, you're going to strip away the entertainment to really try to get through to them. So you're going to ask questions, right? You're going to challenge your brain to think. But if you're not, and it's easy to just be like, know a little bit. And I told you, Sharp, you know, he keeps it very surface level because he's been around squares all, you know, on his little show that he had. So him being around squares, if you know they don't know nothing, it's easy to just stay on a shallow level. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually educating and taking it to a higher level, right?
is not
It's not
for
about
men.
that.
This
It's
book
about
is for women to
selfishness,
stand
right?
in their power,
Selfishness.
and women deserve to be
No
selfish
togetherness.
because
No togetherness.
the reason why women
No
let me tell you
togetherness.
why women deserve to be selfish, because when we
That's the
decide,
case.
time
You would
out.
be
Let
just
me
as worse
speak.
as me.
Let me speak.
That's
When a
the
woman
case.
decides,
As bad as me.
when a woman decides to couple up with a man, she sacrifices so much. You guys don't know that, but when she actually decides that, like, this is the man I want, she
There's
sacrifices
some bitches
so
are just
much.
genuinely running the fuck out of time.
Somewhat.
Some women are just genuinely running the fuck out of time, man.
And he's speaking truth. He bringing truth to power. But when you come at that approach, nobody's going to be able to be educated. You know what I mean? It's always going to be the clickbait.
Don't have no choice.
I don't know.
There is an age bracket that you can hit.
I don't think so. I don't think so because I
There's
believe.
an age
Listen,
bracket that you will hit.
I don't think. Like, look, listen to these titles, bro. This is for
We
women.
don't talk that Bible in here. That Bible's not permitted.
The heartbreak fee. The heartbreak fee. Before
the
your
heartbreak fee.
Yes.
What was a pimp gonna say? Choosing fee?
No, and it's not. No, it's a heartbreak fee.
And this is right. This is the time to educate, though. This is the best time to educate, man. Oh, I wish I would have heard her tell me, oh yeah, my first title is the heartbreak fee. Oh, okay. Now what inspires you to call it the heartbreak free? You know, and then let her ramble. Let her ramble a little bit. Don't show your hand. And I get it. When you get in the belly of the beast, I ain't never been there. I won't never be there, right? Close to Hollywood, trying to get in the movies, trying to do whatever. Sometimes you have to, you know, I would think they gotta put on that persona. Fuck trying to educate. How am I is educating these dudes and these girls about the subculture lifestyle gonna get me on a TV show? If you are thinking strategically? Or are you thinking, hey, I am coming in and whatever comes my way, I'm coming to educate, and that's my main mission. And then you get distracted from that. I think that was what, you know, Sharp's main mission was, and he just got distracted down the way. And you know, you gonna see he gonna get back on the mission. He gets back on the mission, of course, you know. But you got distracted down the way a little bit.
Because women have yes, I believe that before you get my game, I don't even know. There's no book I have ever read on y'all game on what y'all do.
Bring us the heartbreak fee.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all what the heartbreak fee is. So the heartbreak fee is before you ever give your body, which is very to me, everybody thinks of it differently, but your body is very should be held at a very high. Like, you know, my body is my temple. Like, I'm not just fucking anybody for anything.
You genuinely apply or practice it.
Let her rumble. Let her rumble so you can let her hang. Like, that's all you have to do.
Give this shit yourself.
100%.
Okay, this is the next one. And I know y'all know this one too. This is another one where he could have brought education, especially to some, you know, unknown or unknown trick or a potential trick or, you know, a potential black man that could get himself in jail. You know, and he's talking about the digital stuff to where you can still educate that, right? See, a lot of people, this is back in the day too, but this is still another example where I feel like this is the perfect opportunity that Sharp could have took his time to educate these squares, right? And also the audience that's listening will get get a very better idea of how the subculture acts and teaches and the real importance of it, right? So let's get into it.
Yeah, I had
We got church. Oh, we're gonna break that down. We're gonna break down the true meaning of that here in just.
And that's another thing. He doesn't break down the true meaning of church. He just keeps asking and putting the dude in the corner, asking him what's church, knowing this nigga don't know what church is, knowing damn well this. Look at him. He couldn't get the blunt lit the whole time, and you want to keep pushing him and pressing him about what church is instead of just educating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got church, and what's the new school? What does the new school? What works?
Okay.
What works in it?
Okay.
What happens?
Okay.
What are you doing?
Have you ever heard of the digital pivot when it comes to business? You like to talk about businesses a lot.
I like to talk about business. But I want to talk
about
about the game with you first, because you asked for me, church, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, even looking at the church, like, who even named you church? Where'd you get that name from? That concept?
That's
you don't want to answer me what the new school is. You want to pivot off to something else.
Motherfuckers just call me church.
Who called you church?
Everybody that talked to me.
Who named you that?
The game named me that.
No, not the game, because that shit come from somewhere, loved one. I know, because I'm a part of it. So I know where that name come from. That church, I can't even look at it, because I'm...
Educate then. If you know where it came from, stop asking the gentleman, you know, where he get the name from. We already know he just making it up. We know that. We got to be 20 steps ahead and showcase it. But when you ask questions like that, you showcase that you might be 20 steps ahead, but you're not showing them that you're 20 steps ahead. So just ask them. I mean, just educate them. Be like, look, man, I know you're probably inspired. That's why you got your name that. But I don't think that name fits you because you really don't know the experience and the ones that created that name for what it is. It's all about being unique. This is the time where you educate, because people will get a grasp of that, and that's still you, being yourself.
But know if you who gave you the name. Because I'm really from the church, man. I've been from the church since I was a kid. So I want to know who'd you get it from. Did you get it from Bishop? Did you get it from who'd you get it from? Who said, man, you was cool? Who gave you the sign off, man, to say, hey, man, it's cool. Your name could be church. And got told, man, what to say. See, you over here letting her already run the show, church. But you over here running the mouth. Who signed off? Who signed off for you to be the name church? Because I'm really from the congregation, so I'm trying to really figure it out, man. Who gave you your passes? Who?
And the aggressive approach is never going to educate nobody. They like this. He become a fan. Look, he look like he's a fan to this. He look like, yeah, I'm getting some clip vase. I'm about to go viral. Keep it up. And it's like, no, we're going to strip all that away, and we're going to bring some education to the table tonight. Because you over here acting like you something you're not. And that's fine. I get it, but I'm going to educate you.
Hey, your whole passes, church. I ain't never even heard of you.
I want some things I want to say to you.
Get to talking.
I can talk.
Get to talking. Talk about some substance, though. Talk about some substance to the game, man. To the game. Don't talk that bullshit to me, because you can get your ass on up.
You're the only nigga talking in the room.
That's what I'm supposed to.
He's not in the game, Sharp. He's not in the game. He can't talk to you about the game. You got to realize that. And I know this is old, so I'm talking to the future, right? I'm talking really to the future, the ones up and coming up, the younger gentlemen that think, oh, man, that was pimpish of him to do this and do that. And, yeah, you can say that. That's cool. But if you're in the square area, right, if you would be in that podcast world and you got some experience in living in the subculture lifestyle, always use that opportunity to educate them. Always educate yourself that audience that you're around looks at you with negative stereotypes on a daily basis. So you want to, embody that and be able to present yourself in a scholarly way when you're amongst them. So therefore, naturally, you're starting to educate them and starting to change their mind and their thought process of what a pimp is. Organically doing it, right? That's the best way to get it done.
Dude, you ain't answered my question, so now I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna take it over, man.
All right, so the digital pivot.
Some real game, nigga. How long have you been in the game? Who taught you this? Who even turned you on?
Let me answer the motherfucking question.
No, you're trying to answer. You're trying to ask yourself. You're trying to answer your own shit. Like, stop playing, bro.
The motherfucking digital pivot is when you take any business that is hand-to-hand, regular, in stores, like they did in the 90s, regular ass shit.
When was you born?
I was born in 91.
91?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I ain't as young as you thought I was.
You wasn't really doing much, though.
All right,
you wasn't doing nothing but playing with action.
That's what he's gonna say.
What was you doing?
See, he was really about to say something that wasn't important, but you could have used it for a good question to really showcase how lame or ignorant that he is. But instead, he asked what year he was, then came down to find out, oh shit, he ain't that much younger than me. So now I gotta hit a funny line now, right? Well, no, just let him spill out whatever he was about to say and bring some education behind it.
I'm just asking you, bro.
What, 91?
Yeah, what you doing? Explain as a baby.
In 91, I was playing with Power Rangers. Nigga, rugged. You gonna tell me I'm rusty. When was you born, bro? When was you born?
When was I born?
87,
man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Sure. Yeah.
See, look, that's what appreciation looks like. You know what I'm saying? My nigga ain't appreciated a goddamn thing since I'm.
You gotta show me something to appreciate, nigga. I'm a boss. You better show me something to fucking appreciate, nigga.
You wanna hear
I really
something?
come from the game, nigga, so you have to really tell me something, show me something.
All right, so the digital pivot.
You keep saying that.
I know.
Come on.
I'm drilling it in motherfucker's head. I love it. It's the best thing.
Redundant. You keep saying the same thing, but you don't get nowhere with it. Come on, let's get down to the definition.
This nigga call me redundant.
You are.
That's what he does.
Come on. No, man, come on.
You see, and I'm trying to explain to you, they both being redundant. And who's the host? That's what I'm trying to explain. If you're the host, you can't be over passionate, right? You got to understand, hey, I'm the pimpin' that's hosting, and it's a bunch of squares around me. So I'm about to be, I got to keep it player all the time, eh?
Any business, if you take it to the internet, you make more off of it. Just based off of customer acquisition and things like that, of that sort.
So since nobody was doing that. Who said that nobody ever did that?
OnlyFans is literally the epitome of that.
OnlyFans is cool. It's for squares to come. It's like a meet and greet for square. They can come over there and play in the game a little bit. And it's cool. I'm not knocking it. It's got its own PowerPoints. But that shit ain't got nothing to know. Nigga, that shit ain't got nothing. What, nigga, selling yourself? You sell yourself just like the bitch do. Come on, man.
Stunt dick
You
shit.
sitting up over there stunt dick shit.
That's it.
What the fucking entire fuck is that?
You're not stepping the game.
That nigga said stunt. And that's something new. I ain't never heard of that, right? But this is a time to educate. This is the time to educate and let the gentleman know, hey, man, the woman that you're dealing with is not going to constantly look at you like that man when you're, both fighting for camera time. You got to look at the relationship dynamic behind that, right? You can't, just, do an insult because there's no educating behind that. He's going to deflect that and it's going to be funny and shit, but nobody learns from that, right? Nobody gets a true understanding of the lifestyle. That's how so many people just want to tether on and tether on and tether on. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
You want to know?
nigga.
Ask the
Yeah,
question
I
and
wanna
then pause, my nigga. If you want a nigga to talk, my nigga just want to talk. My nigga just gassing.
Bro, you ain't talking
You
about
gassing.
shit.
They're not asking you a question, not
getting
answering.
And they're both right. Bro ain't talking about nothing. But Sharp at this time, he wasn't trying to tap in to getting the best answers out of him because he wasn't challenging himself to ask any questions. You know what I mean? He wanted to defend himself and go compete in a pissing match. When you're dealing with squares, right, and you a gentleman of lifestyle, and they want to come to you and be like, oh, yeah, I'm this and that, you don't have to do a pissing match with them, right? This is your chance to educate them. Get 10, 20 feet ahead of them mentally, and then see where they at, and then try to bring them to you. And if they're not able to do that within, that conversation, then that lets you know all you need to know. And everybody else that heard the conversation is going to get an idea of it too. You get what I'm saying? Or it's going to get you to where now you can get into this persona character. See, Sharp don't know how to build it up. He went straight to it because he know it already for sure. But your audience don't know it already, P. So when the audience don't know it already and you put yourself in this position to, get interviewed, then you jump in and become a host with predominantly squares around you so you know the environment you're in, you got to keep that in mind.
Knowing you might be like my child.
You came off
Who disrespecting you can't stop touching shit. You can't stop touching shit because nigga, you're requesting me. And you know what you said, nigga? You wanted to tell me what the new school versus the old school was? Okay, then tell me. You ain't talking shit. You just want to run your fucking mouth.
It's all about efficiency.
You want to run your mouth throughout the old school game and try to go on your own road.
I never even tried to throw
You
it
never
out.
even
What I'm
respected
trying to
it.
do
You
is
never even respected it. Go ahead, bro.
This nigga don't even know my resume at all. And that's what he's talking about. I don't know your resume.
Nobody
I'm gonna talk
knows.
down on it before it even happens. I'm gonna wipe my ass with it before it even happens. Come on, Sharp. Come on. You got 2 ears and one.
He telling them like we want to know the resume, but he's getting so amped up that we can't even get to really get an understanding if he's in the lifestyle.
Mouth for a reason. If you want to talk to me.
But you say my name like that, like you got some bass in it. You ain't from the game. Don't do that.
You ain't from the game.
Knock it off.
You see, he gets so distracted because he said his name a certain way instead of realizing, okay, this is my opportunity to ask a question to really see if he's in the lifestyle. How long have you been in the lifestyle? He says 10 years. Okay, name the first time. How did you get in the lifestyle? Did you get in through your OGs, your female? We'll talk about the first female you had. You know what I'm saying? So we could get a real understanding.
Sharp, come on, short. No, nigga, you should have been real, Tucker. You was trying to play. Being the Tosa. Come on, bro. I don't even wear who the fuck's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers jacket is that? And please tell me it's not yours.
Of course it's mine. That shit fly as fuck. Nigga,
Child, fuck. Child, boy, and bile.
This nigga came off negative off the rip.
How did I ask you?
My
You requested me,
nigga make
boy.
this game look
Boy,
like
you
it
requested
hurt.
me, boy.
My nigga makes the
I'm
game
here
look
to
like
make
it
your
hurt.
ass.
You make
That nigga said he make the game look bad. And it's because he don't make the game look bad. It's just you not a participant in the game. But I see where he's coming from. If he would have just asked the right questions, the audience would have seen how bad you're making the game look.
the game look
I'm
like
here
it
to look at
hurt.
that shit, boy.
You make the game look like it hurt. You make it.
Do it.
Oh, he said like it hurt. And the reality is, if the questions was asked the right way to put bruh, in that corner, that square box he's in, then, people in the square world would be knowing that he's the reason why the game looking hurt.
You talk about shit such a negative light.
Hey, baby, listen to me.
I hope
made it
that
this
you
long.
did. I hope that
Let's
you
see
did.
where this little young nigga at right here made in 6 years, and let's see what he really doing. Let's see if he can really stand through it. Let's see if he can really go through the roller coaster.
Oh my God.
And he's telling the lady this, but I'd rather him tell, bruh that, because that's how you start the education. But when you tell the lady, that's more of, just trying to get under somebody's skin.
Let's see.
Oh my God.
Let's see.
Oh my God.
You're fly by night, nigga. Overnight.
My nigga,
Drop
you're
out the
not
sky.
that much older
Drop
than
out
me,
the
my
fucking
nigga.
sky. But who are you? Where are you coming to?
That nigga said you not that much older than me. He's not. They only, what, 4 years apart? That's where I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to get some real substance of conversation right here.
Games, yeah, I came in the game church when I was 14, 15 years old, nigga. This verified. Motherfucker, you can go pull my resume, nigga, from the back to the Cadillac.
I've
to
been in
wherever
the
fuck you
game
need to
damn
go
near
find
10
me.
years.
Have
Alright.
you? Doing
Yes,
what?
I have.
Doing what? On and off. You look like a backpack.
See, and my
pusher.
nigga, the
Backpack
feds. People
pusher.
wanna be like, what?
See, he said, I've been in the game for 10 years, and he said, doing what? He looked like it. And then he just get on him. He just start getting on it. Instead of letting him hang himself, right? Ask more questions.
What you doing? What you
Backpack
doing?
pusher.
My nigga, you was on back
But you
page.
should know how to
You was on
finesse
back
it.
page. You
But
was-
listen, you should know how to finesse it, even through them questions. I always knew how to.
And that's true, but you want to defend yourself instead of educating him. And this is old, I get it. That's why I'm trying to explain to you. When the pimpin' met the podcast world, how that podcast world can suck you in, you know, whatever they say, pause or whatever, right? They can, you know, suck you into that life to where you forget the whole mission. And that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. It's not about, you know, Sharp necessarily. It's about anybody that's in the subculture world. When you put yourself in an arena amongst squares and they know what type of person you are, you want to showcase scholarship and you want to showcase education. That's what this is about, right? Now, like I said, Sharp didn't understand the situation he was putting himself into, and I think he understood it and he had the mission, and then he just dropped the ball a couple times, right? Because the entertainment outweighs the mission at hand, because you're in the square world, right? There's a demand to get views and all of that stuff. So with that demand, you have to, you know, somewhat act like, you know, it's more about entertainment and less about educating. And that's what happens. That's why moving forward, you know, he returns to the mission and he does his own thing on the podcast, on his own broadcast now, right?
Always knew how to, so who's got the game? You don't know how to finesse.
That's
you
why
run
you
out of
ain't
it.
saying
You
shit.
get
Fuck the
frustrated.
game, the shit that you be talking about to be a problem for the game, that it be misrepresented.
Mhm.
I did a little research on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you be talking about the game like it's misrepresented and
It
shit,
is.
right?
By young
It
niggas
is.
like yourself.
Not even.
Young
You
niggas
put
like
me-
yourself.
You put me in the same box
Young
as
niggas
them.
like yourself.
I'm not like
As soon as
them.
you came in,
I
you
just
start
came
talking
in.
like it. For you to even
Talking
say,
like what?
you know what you
Talking
should
like
have
what?
did? You should have kept it player, right? You should have
My
told
nigga just
him,
came in and said, hey, you
listen,
suck my
man.
toes.
That shit's crazy to me. That shit's, because that's not a part of the game to me. I've never
See,
seen
bigger one,
church.
Gazacho.
Where did the church
That's
come
my
from?
slogan.
What's the church mean? What's the true definition of it? There we go. Let's get down to it for real. Since you
My
know
nigga
about
wanted to be
that.
like, oh, how did you come up with church? All right, so this is
How'd
what
you come up
happened.
with church?
This is what happened. I'll be speaking on shit. This is before I came in the
Don't
game.
even know the
I'll
nigga
ask
who
him-
created it. You don't even know the nigga who.
This nigga just would not let this nigga, and I get it. It's like, this nigga's a lame. His name's Church. So it's even more passionate, right? I believe Sharp comes under the umbrella of the Bishop Don Juan, you know, all them cats. So I believe he's more passionate behind this church name. So he don't want to educate. But it's the audience. It's not the individual that's up there with you. We know they're buffooneries and squares. You want to educate them so the audience sees how the pimping educates the squares that think they're participants in the lifestyle. That's my angle. Moving forward, right? And nobody does this anymore. There ain't no pimping that's in a square world, you know, trying to interview, you know, a bunch of wannabes, right? He was the first to do that, and he's learned. We all learn. We all live and learn and we grow, right?
Hated the word, and you gonna sit over here and talk about nigga like you just got under the mixture of it? I've known that man all my life. You gotta be fucked up, bro.
Bishop
You
Magic Don Juan?
disrespecting him.
You talking about Bishop Magic Don Juan?
You disrespect because you took that man's shit.
I ain't taking shit. I was inspired by his shit.
Was you? But you
Because I would
so,
say,
here we go.
Church, after saying the most prolific shit that motherfuckers would be saying, so motherfuckers would just be passing me by. Motherfuckers be, hey, Church.
And the way he say, the reason I you know, if Sharp was able to educate, you know, the terminology church, it's because you hear everybody say it, and I don't know if everybody knows the true meaning of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't use that shit. I'm not from it. I don't have no problem with it. I get it. I respect the elders and the culture of this lifestyle for sure. So I'm a student to every terminology for sure. But do I use it? No, I don't have to adopt it because it's not my era. It's not my generation. You know, it's not, I don't know none of them individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Just call me Church just off the shit that I be saying because motherfuckers would listen to what the fuck I was saying. because I got really good shit to say. I got excellent shit to
After
say.
this, you getting on the phone and you about to get ready to link. You about to get it together where you gonna run that man his bag.
I would love to talk to him.
Bishop, you will but with a bag. You owe him a bag.
You're not gonna tell me what
you owe him a fucking bag. Then don't go pull up on him because you are now
He's talking about, you're not going to tell me what to do.
anointed church. Motherfuckers call me church.
Suspect.
They would just call me church.
You suspect, bro.
I talk to motherfuckers about prolific ass shit.
And this shit's
This nigga
hella
come off
OD.
so
This shit is
negative
hella
off top
OD.
that we can't even move forward with a motherfucking conversation.
Because
What part of the game is this?
digital pivots.
Oh, this interview was so funny, boy. I swear. Man, just a joke. Just a joke. The squares is probably like, this is a joke. They ain't learned nothing.
Digital pivots. Oh, thank you. We just
Digital
bring it back.
pivots.
All right, so if you take any business that is good,
Biggest waste of fucking air and time I've ever done in my entire fucking life. What do you do? What do you do when she gives you
that
bread?
is literally,
What do you do?
That is literally 1% of the entirety of the operation of what the fuck we do. You're taking a tiny ass thing, taking it as a microcosm to what motherfuckers do. You think that a nigga in the game that fucks with the own
And bruh's not saying nothing. He's not saying anything. This is a perfect alley-oop for Sharp to just, show his audience that this is the issue. These type of dudes are the issues. And he's trying, but the audience gets confused in my mind because they don't know if it's, real. There's no education behind it. So they can make fun of Sharp in this if they wanted to, how dramatic he's getting over this wannabe. You know what I'm saying?
fan shit purely is just out there slinging dick and using that as a reason to sling dick and shit to get paid from just slinging dick. That's not the shit at all. The tenets of doing what the fuck that we do is commodifying the bitch to the highest extent, so that way she's elevated
I'm not
and
taking
moving
no
past
pain.
every other bitch that's her peers, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the NBA. We coach a team and make the bitch score more, get accolades, trying to
What
get a
is he
championship,
saying?
right? The point is to commodify the bitch to the highest extent, right?
By you
That's
being
efficiency.
submissive to the bitch? You're submissive to the
How
bitch.
is that? What's submissive?
And listen, he says by being submissive, but you gotta don't come at the attack angle. That's not how you gonna get through to the audience. But I get it. They trying to get this is where he's in the belly of the beast, man. He trying to get them clips. He trying to go viral. Fuck that education he's saying.
The bitch. You don't know, nigga.
You put your toes all in her mouth. She's gonna be like, nigga, you better do this right now.
What? Swear to God. Swear to the church.
You better.
Okay, so now this is Sharp. Once he realized, hey, the no jumper, all them squares ain't meant for me, right? Remember in the beginning when he was talking about he wants to be diverse and show people that he can interview not just people of the lifestyle, but interview everybody, rappers and all of that, right? So this is when they have to falling out, right? And this is basically the core of him getting back focused on his mission. But before he let them know, and this is what he said to them, and then I'm going to show you what the no jumper people said about him to where you get a better understanding on him being in the belly of the beast, him being a different individual than everybody else, right? Him coming from a unique subculture, and how when you go into the square arena coming from this subculture, if you don't handle it, maturely, scholarly, constantly, then they're going to start, bringing out them stereotypes again, right? So here we go.
Good luck to your company and whatever the fuck you're doing. I wish you the best. I really do. You took it in. I knew it was going to go into a different direction because that's what I was trying to do all along. I hope it works out for you. Hell, let's not even forget Dan. I can't even forget my mans. Nah, we can't even do that without telling the story correctly. Can't even get in Wallow. They flew a cameraman out here. They flew Trev out here. And me and Wallow, I'm sitting in the hotel room interviewing Wallow. Back in the beginning, this 3-4 years ago. They never had that plug. That was all on me. Shit, we shot the convention that weekend, everything. Me and Wallow sitting there in depth, holding up a no jumper sweatshirt. And they never sat down with Adam. Adam said, oh, can you plug me with him? He don't want to with you. That's why that interview's still up, because there probably won't be another one ever again on No Jumper. I know there won't. That nigga Wallow reached out to me, gang. That's that's how I met him. Wallow in there so bad, gang, like, hey, man, plug me with him. He's just simply not with you, dog. He'll never with you. For me, that was it. That was all. We got what we got. Be happy. See, he tried to double back on Wallow, like how he tried to double back on Kelpie. After I did the first one with Kelpie, that nigga tried to double back and cut me out of it. I watched this whole play.
So it sounds like he was trying to, Adam was trying to, use Sharp as like a puppet, and you know, Sharp ain't going for it, but that's kind of how the mindset is. Like, oh, go do this big interview, and when it does numbers, I'm gonna get the person back, but I'm not gonna have you interview them. So that lets you know that if he was bringing more education, then maybe when they come back, you could keep interviewing them. But because you're trying to get, you know, all about you and it's attention and stuff like that, and I don't know if it's intentional or because you're just amongst all these squares, P, to where, you know, hell, you feel like, you know, you got to stand out in front of everybody and let them know what time it is, and you passionate behind that, right? But it looks like the square audience and the square people that, you know, the pimping went to go work with was trying to take advantage of his uniqueness. You get what I'm saying? And trying to capitalize off that. And not really trying to get the education and the scholarship that he brings to the platform. Because he's not showcasing it as much, right?
That's why he brought you know who to sit there. Well, Sharp's already making a bag off of it. Nigga, that shit hit for what, 4 million? Out of here. Nigga, I was trending #1 gaming on YouTube. How you do that? Because it had game in there. So people who play games was watching that shit. That shit was trending #1. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit was crazy.
You see what I mean? So with that type of influence, this dude right here, notice how the picture just stopped right here. This is their take, right? And notice when the pimping goes into the square arena in the podcast world, how if you don't bring scholarship, man, and consistently understanding that you're in a 10% society, so I have to carry myself even in the best, uniquest way on the all time, right? I have to bring scholarship with my words, with my patience, with my emotions, with all of that, because I want to move the needle with how they think of the pimping, right? Then that's how you got to do it. You can't jump into it looking for entertainment, because then people be trying to, you know, put smut on you.
Going and everything like that. And there's one girl in particular. It was her first day at the job, and Sharp tried to holler at her. It's the middle of the day. It's fucking 1 p.m., 2 p.m. He tries to holler at her. I'm going to assume that she probably already got warned by the other female members of the staff or whatever. If Sharp says something to you, just kind of turn it back, look at the gray, you know? And so he says something. He tries to holler.
This is what the industry does too. We don't even know if this is a fabricated. Anything the YT dude be saying, I don't know if it's a fabricated story to, you know, get the media, get the social media world to start making up bull stuff on the pimping. You know what I mean? Because that's what they would do, especially if you're accepted with your intelligence, with your knowledge, and that's why you're accepted in the beginning, and then you get distracted from doing that, right?
And she says, like, hi, how's it going? But then she, like, walks away or, like, turns away from him, and all of a sudden she gets treated to the, hey, bitch, when I talk to you, you better pay attention. Like on it. It's like, bro, this is a workplace. You can't just call a girl a bitch. She works alongside you. Like, you can't even...
You can just call a girl a bitch, though. You can. Especially if you brought who you were on a constant basis and you brought scholarship towards it. Now, do you need to? No. So I don't know if this story is all the way true or not, right? It could be fabricated, right? It could, because who in their right mind does that, right? It's a girl that just works there. Like, come on now. But that's what I'm saying. This is what happens when you go in the belly of the beast and you're not showcasing scholarship at an all-time high all the time. You get what I'm saying?
You being drunk here in the first place, like, this is us being, like, very lenient, and we talked to him about the alcohol multiple times, and I'm like, you know, Remo can help you. Remo can put together really good questions, because anybody who's watched Sharp's interviews knows one of his primary problems is that he goes off script, he starts preaching about random shit, starts talking about himself like crazy, and that has definitely, like, made a lot of interviews that probably would have been fucking awesome, like the Sauce Walker one, or like the unreleased Kevin Gates one that didn't come out because he was on.
And that's the struggle, man, with the pimping being an interviewer, right? Being a host of a show, giving interviews. But pimping got a lot to talk about. We don't got time to just be asking these boring ass questions and about somebody else's career. You know, now if Sharp would have thought like, look, hey, I'm gonna either one or two things. I'm gonna keep going to go on different people's platforms and giving them this good knowledge and just get my thing this way, because that would have been a good look for Sharp. If he would have been one of them, you know, them cats that be going on these little podcast interview shows and constantly giving his intake on certain current events that's going on in the world from a pimp's perspective, Pimp's perspective. From a pimp's perspective, though, you get it? If he is a pimp, right? That would have been a better look, I think, than trying to host on the No Jumper podcast, trying to give the interviews to Squares. Unless you're hosting and you're giving interviews to people that think they're in the lifestyle, like I showed the examples of. That's the only way it could work for me. Is just like any person I'm doing an interview with, it has to be somewhat game related. They gotta act like they're in the game, or a Mac, or something to where I can always be giving my education. I can always give my scholarship. I don't just get pushed to being an interviewer because he's, oh, Sauce Walker, I'm going to interview him. Or, oh, Rollo, I'm going to, like, no. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy shit, just preaching and yelling about random shit, etc.
Sounds like if Sharp is juxtaposed with a rapper like Sauce Walker, it actually kind of makes sense because they do have something to talk about.
That was a good interview, but he talked over him the whole time, and Remo gave him a killer lip. Because me and Remo, keep in mind, I was supposed to do that interview. Remo had 30 fucking questions of like good questions. So why the Kevin Gates one didn't come out is because it could have been a somewhat orderly conversation. Sharp could have very easily become like a beloved interviewer on this platform. He just would have had to show some restraint and be willing to do some research. Does this sound?
Or just frame it, put the pimp brain on and be like, damn, do I really want to be interviewing all these Squares? And if I do, okay, know what you sign up for and be professional, right? But if not, frame your show to where you can still be you. Meaning I only want to interview certain people that think they in the lifestyle so I can educate them so I can still be myself. I don't want to just come into giving questions to people. But that's what happens when you're under somebody's thumb, right? When you're at somebody else's platform.
Anybody?
My boy, this is where, and everybody that goes to the house will say the same. You can tell Sharp your opinion, how you feel about something, and that's when he's gonna scold you about why his narrative is the only narrative that should be pushed in this situation. And he go, you saying that when I realized what type of person he was, and I wasn't offended or nothing, this is my boy, and I know like when a motherfucker used to be in like the big dog and like a new dog come around, they kind of got to poke their chest. Almighty, I think you know what situation I'm talking about. I think we were having
and look, Almighty right there talking about, bruh, that he was just feeling like, oh, this is my pimp pop. And I know they got their own beef or whatnot or whatever. I don't know. That's why I don't really get into it. I just want to look at it from the mindset of, you know, when the pimping is coming in with a mission, trying to educate a lot of Squares, how because you're in that Square world, it's very easy to get distracted, and also how one realizes that and gets back on that mission of path in their own way.
Discussion about all our growth on the podcast and who's skyrocketed, and they were like, "Oh, rookie of the year. We're not gonna put Brick in it because he, you know what I mean? We know he did a good. He had a good year this year. He's like, yeah, nigga, my first year, nigga, I'm bringing the M's in. I'm like, damn, I'm your homeboy, nigga. Today your day. Yeah. I would have gave you your day. I always do it. I'm like, all right, cuz on the dead homies, I know it.
So yeah, that's another example, right? Where people will, you know, try to, the show goes on, right? So people gonna tell all your little business, even though they might take it out of context. You don't know if he was, you know, motivating you, talking about he did M's to where, you know, hell, you need to get your numbers up, like just reminiscing, right? But one can take it that way now because he's out the picture, right? He's you know, out the podcast or the platform, I should say, right? So now him out of the podcast or the platform, they could talk about him. But if the pimping brought the scholarship when he came into the podcast or when he came to the platform, then when he deteriorated or left or whatever the case may be, it would only be nothing but positivity to be able to say about him because he already knew that he was amongst the Squares. But this is the thing, man. This is the returning of the mission, right? This is him realizing, okay, man, look, pimping don't need to be around all them Squares. I need to still relay the message of what's important out there to the community. So I utilize all that squareness and over there, and I got me a following. So now it's time to get on my own platform and get back focused on the mission. And I believe he could have did that after. He could have kept doing interviews, like the one, you know, not him giving the interviews, but him being interviewed, and still grew his platform and still been able to educate. But he's right on the right track now, right? He's left the platform. He's back speaking about the game, right? He's refocusing, right? And that's what a lot of people need to understand, man. When you a true gentleman in his lifestyle, it's nothing wrong with, reprogramming your mind to getting back focused on the mission at hand. Whatever mission that is, whether you in the grassroots of the game and you still trying to, get you a car or get you a spot, whatever the mission is, it's okay to get distracted because you're in a world of squares. Now, it's not okay to just stay distracted and get lost in the sauce, right? You got to find yourself and get back right focus and get back on the mission at hand.
Ain't gonna lie, the only way I come back to the game if Vegas or just like cities and states, y'all need to let these go with who they want to with, man. Straight up. Not everybody's sitting there sending them or with them because they had to force.
So this is him speaking on the lifestyle, right? This is him back on his own channel, giving back on the mission, I should say, right? Giving game to the square ears so they can understand it, and also giving game to the young adults out there so they get a better understanding.
So, like, just trust me, homie. That's like taking the bees away and just saying, like, we don't need bees anymore. Well, man, bees do something for the world. Hell, even flies do.
And he's speaking on the young gentlemen that are so mad about the 304s. He's saying, hey, man, we need bees,
So you can't take everybody away. It can't all be bad. You try to take away the pimping from the hoe, and guess what, man? The hoes get kind of loose. They get out of pocket. They get fucked up. Guess what they do? They start going to with as gang members. Go start with that they ain't really got no business even going and fuck with. But it's like y'all kind of need them with, not even saying it's dumb, no each to each their own, but like going with that, may lack gang members, they might lack pimp game or, being able to deal with this little funky ass when she may be sitting there trying to show her nerve or trying to show her little section. I mean, it happens. Real shit. It happens, homie.
He's keeping it real. This is grassroots, meaning, hey, the pimp mind understands the 304 woman just a little bit better to where we can put up with all the stuff that the average man might can't. We see it different than the average man, right?
Ain't too many gangsters I could take that and really play, and I could do something with the bit. Her game might be different than what an actual hoe game might be. I can understand that. Real, I can understand that. It's nothing but love. But you hoes to be going and trying to with gang members and like.
Now he gonna talk about the ladies.
Cause you know why they do it? Cause they feel like, well, the nigga's not all the way as clean as me, but at least I can get some genuine love out the. No, you won't. That already looked to us. He already looked to us already and be like, well, how you doing it?
So he's saying to the 304s that's choosing the dope boys and all that, those dudes look up to the pimping. You get what I'm saying? That's what he's saying.
He started to see when the little pussy spell wear off. And the little Air Force Ones you done bought him. And the little clothes you done bought him, the little bottles and little dro sacks and all the little extra shit. I know what you hoes like to do. The niggas still end up going and doing some weird shit on you anyway. You find yourself more hurt than you were fucking with the that you probably should have fucked with from the beginning. What's some game? That's where you come from. Peanut butter and jelly. You say, well, like, yeah, this gives me love. He gives me everything that I want, but I want him to myself. So you trying to go find somebody, you can't go with the square. I'm talking to the 304s right now. You can't go with the square like that because how long that gonna last? To work every day, he do whatever the he goes and does. When he comes home, what does he want to do? He wants to have a hot meal, a hot shower, lay next to something soft and watch a flick. Them nights that your ass gonna be up in the bathroom when he's coming in, you about to get ready to go out. He's not gonna always understand that.
Right. And that's the thing, man. You gotta understand. Sometimes people, man, you want to get out there in the world. You want to educate the world. And within educating the world, society accepts you, but then they try to change you, They try to make you a puppet. They try to make you a, a plan or whatever the case may be for their entertainment, and not to be educated by you. To where sometimes within the heat of all that, you can find yourself, and if you're not able to reach them in the educational format, right, then the hell with trying to entertain them. And I think that's what the gentleman right here learned, right? To where now he's back focused on the mission, right? So, you ask yourself, was it sharp or was it the environment? You had one man, you had one mission, you had a different environment though. You know what I'm saying? You had a different type of audience, right? To where, was it about education or was it about entertainment, right? How well was one trying to adapt towards that challenge? You know what I mean? How well was one trying to influence the square audience and also stay true to who you are, right? Was you trying to leave a legacy out there? You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask, man, did Sharp change or did the environment around him change? You get what I'm saying? That's very important to ask yourself. Was it reshaped? You know what I'm saying? Did it reshape the development within this whole little thing that happened with the little podcast, with the pimp making it to the podcast? You ask yourself, man, can a teacher, really remain untouchable by a platform that's not about teaching? It's just about entertainment. So meaning if he came every day on the podcast and he was trying to educate everybody about, whatever they thought about the subculture, would that platform still accept him for who he was, or would it never even got nowhere? You know what I'm saying? So you ask yourself these questions. Can education and entertainment, truly coexist? Can it truly coexist? And I do believe it could truly coexist, but you have to come from your own platform. You have to come from your own platform, right? And for the ones that be on the TikTok lives, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night on the Mindset Monday over there during my live broadcast on the TikTok. How can education and entertainment coexist? And if it can, how does one educate? How does one educate? That's what we'll be talking about briefly tomorrow night, right? So you got to look at it, man. In this video that I wanted to break down, man, I want y'all to really understand, the belly of the beast, right? I want y'all to really understand how, one can have a mission and, what momentum does that one get, right? So the mission versus the momentum. Because you could get a lot of momentum and forget about your mission, or get distracted by your mission unintentionally because you're riding that momentum so well. You think, oh, the education will come. The education will come. The education will come. And as that momentum keeps going and going and going, you be like, the hell with the education shit. I got momentum not giving education. I got momentum from entertainment. So if I got momentum from entertainment, I'm going to lean more in the entertainment because the momentum drifted you away from the mission. You get what I'm saying? You have the purpose versus the popularity, right? The purpose is to educate people about the subculture lifestyle, right? Just so happened I got popular doing it. Which one do I lean more on now? Do I tell myself, well, damn, if I give, if I show less of my purpose, am I going to become more popular? Or do I stress my purpose more and say the hell with being popular, right? Do I rather have an audience or do I rather be authentic? And we learn. Everybody learns, man, especially the pimping. Pimping ain't going to be no puppet for nobody. They going to realize that and make a quick pivot, and keep getting back on the mission. And then laugh back at like, oh yeah, at least I got, I got a couple dollars out their ass. I drifted off for a quick second. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody perfect, and damn sure the pimping ain't perfect. You know what I mean? To where, the legacy versus the attention. When you do that pivot, you understanding, hey, I got a legacy. You know, my morals and standards is higher than that. Yeah, I got caught in the belly of the beast, but it's all good. They can have that attention. I rather hold the legacy. You get what I'm saying? The environment. I'm cool with that environment, man. Because what happens is sometimes when the pimping gets in that environment with the squares, he's thinking he's going to change everybody's brain. And it's not necessarily going to happen that way. What's going to happen is all them brains are going to start trying to gang up on the unique one. And then therefore, they're going to try to strip away your unique identity. You got to be more like us because we outnumber. So our thoughts are going to, get, overweigh your thoughts. So now our thoughts overweighing your thoughts got you self-consciously thinking, do I change my identity or not? You know what I'm saying? But you don't. You just change your environment. You just understand your environment better, right? You understand your environment better, because every platform has a culture, right? Every platform has a culture, Every culture rewards certain behaviors. Remember this. You know what I'm saying? Every audience, they reinforces something. You know what I'm saying? So every audience is going to reinforce something. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at success, you know what I'm saying, it often brings new temptation. And that's where the mission has to stay focused at. When you're being successful in things, it's often going to bring new temptation to where it's like, damn, I'm getting all this success. Is it because of my education? Is it because I'm educating people, or is it because they're entertained by me? You get what I'm saying? So the greatest challenge isn't always getting the platform, but sometimes, you know what I mean? It's about surviving the platform. And I really, really, truly believe surviving the square platform or anything in life, you have to showcase pimpish etiquette. You have to showcase scholarly-like pimpish behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because the stereotypes will, make you be looked at in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? And this story, like I said, it's for anyone, anybody that enters the system where it's powerful enough to reshape some people's mindsets, right? So this can happen to anybody, man. The real question is, whether you're gaining influence, without losing the reason you wanted to be influenced in the first place. So are you gaining influence without losing the reason why you wanted influence in the beginning? So are you still educating the mission that you wanted in the beginning, right? And still growing in the fame or whatever, the popularity? Or are you trying to change how your message is to get that popularity? That's the challenging thing, man. That is the challenging thing that you got to ask yourself in everyday life, especially with social media being so powerful and impactful. How do you showcase? How do you look at your social media? Are you trying to have your social media, everybody look at you some certain way? So you're changing so they can look at you some certain way? Or are you more focused on educating the people that might come across your page? Or might come across your social media or whatever you got going on, huh? You know what I mean? But that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I appreciate the ones that stuck with me, man. And go ahead and, go hit the follow over there on my TikTok, Bears and Bees. And go hit the follow on my IG, Bears and Bees, right? Go over there to Durable Minds on Amazon Kindle and check out these 2 books I got right here, The Unknown Trick and The Renegade Illusion. I'll probably be back another Sunday with another deep dive breakdown, game related from the grassroots. Till next time, I'm gone.
He thought he had control, thought he knew the code, but the game hit different when you ain't been on that road. He thought he had to pick, whole time he the lick, talking like a boss, but he funding every trip. Welcome to the story where perception don't stick, where a player get exposed as the unknown trick.